So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I say good evening. It's 8 o'clock in the UK on January the 2nd, 2024. Welcome to everybody watching this. Here in person, and also I'm going to put this up on YouTube as a video. So some of you will be watching this as a video. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Hope you had everything you wanted for Christmas. Nice relaxing time, if that's your thing. Enjoying the festivities, I certainly did, and hope you had a great new year, and you're all ready now for kicking off 2024 with a bit of an effort, bit of a push to build some momentum, because 2024 is going to be a tremendous year for people in this space. The markets are all going in the right direction, and people are just fed up of the economic situation pretty much all over the world. Political policies and decisions being made by our political elite class are causing us to be very, very uncomfortable financially and in a lot of other ways as well. So a lot of people are ready to jump into this this space, this online business space where they hope to make a lot of money in 2024. So there's a lot of things conspiring to work together to ensure that if you put some effort in now for the next few weeks, you can really build some momentum going into 2024. And of course, we've got to figure out not only who's going to come with us, but what are we going to do in this space. And as you know, we've been looking at this for quite a little while now. Some of you were with me for the last venture that we tried, the last big venture that disappeared in, I think it's probably about September time, disappeared. And some people made some good money at that. Some people lost some money at that. And really what we want to do is put together something that's not going to be subject to the vagaries of what these companies do or decide to do or have done to them by somebody else. And I'll go through that in a little bit. So yeah, welcome to 2024. And like I say, if you're prepared just to put a little bit of effort in for the next few weeks, you can reap the rewards of that for the rest of the year. And if we do it right, then we'll all reap the rewards of our effort from the next few weeks for years to come. Okay, that's what we're aiming for. That's what I'm trying to put together for you, not only for you, of course, but for myself as well. So it's not totally altruistic, but I think I figured out the key to success in this space. And so now we just need to put it together and make it work. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is share my screen, and we will have a look at the presentation that I put together for the Wealth Warriors. I like the name, the Wealth Warriors. We are the Wealth Warriors. If you're watching this, then you have the opportunity to become a Wealth Warrior, and I'll show you what that entails in a little while. And I like that tagline as well, financial freedom fighters, because I think the analogy is right. You often think of freedom fighters as being the rebels against the dictatorial or the fascist government. It's the small band of people who they've got right on their side, but not necessarily might, and they're fighting against the oppression. They're fighting against all the injustice that comes from big government, and so that's what we think of when we think of freedom fighters, and that's how I think of us. And we're financial freedom fighters. But we do have large forces arrayed against us, and we need to be very clever and persistent if we're going to achieve our financial freedom at any time at all, let alone within the next few months or years. Okay, but I like that tagline, financial freedom fighters, because that is exactly how I see us. So what's the problem with online businesses? Now, I've just redone this presentation because I think that it's important to look back and say, what are we trying to achieve? And before we can figure out what we're trying to achieve, we've got to figure out why haven't we been able to achieve it before now. So what is the problem with online businesses? And there's a few things. One is we can look at what do we want. Well, the first thing we want, maybe not the first and most important thing, but we definitely want to get some money from this. We don't want We don't want to put time and effort and energy into something just for the fun of it. We want some money from it, and we want a passive income from the product side of it, and we also want commissions from building a team. And traditionally, it's been difficult to get both of those, and it's certainly been very difficult to get them both long term. And the reason it's difficult to get both of them, from a long-term venture, is because these businesses that we get involved with keep disappearing on a regular basis, and so you build up your passive income, you reinvest them, and you take some money out, but you put some money back in, and eventually it goes pop, and we end up with that money, that little nest egg we've been building up has gone. We also want commissions for building a team, so we put together some, we get some friends, neighbors, relatives involved, and we're all excited about getting some building a business that's going to produce commissions on into the future, and then when that business fails, of course, that whole line of sponsorship, that whole group of people, that whole community that you spent time building, that's all gone. Okay, so we want money, we want the passive income, and we want the commissions. And what do we end up with? We end up paying out again and again on a product that just doesn't deliver. We also end up with a compensation plan designed to minimize your rewards. Okay, and I dislike not with a vengeance, but I do dislike when I can see companies organizing things to take what should be rightfully yours. So it's not enough that you've invested money with them. It's not enough they're making money on the money that you invest. But when it comes time to pay out your commissions, they've orchestrated it so that they don't pay out all the commissions you've earned. And the examples of that are binary structures and force matrices. Okay, because you only get paid out on your strongest leg, or 60% of your weakest leg, or whatever. What it means is they're cutting into your profit and they're keeping some of what should be yours. So I don't like those at all. And there's restrictions on withdrawals, whether it's, you can't withdraw until the weekend, you can't withdraw until a week on Tuesday, or you can only withdraw $100 a day, or whatever it is. There's restrictions. So we want money from our business, we want this return from our time and effort, and we end up with all these restrictions and all this stuff preventing us from making the money that we want to make. It's not really our business if somebody else has got that much control over it. We also want security of income. We don't want to just make a few bucks now. We want to invest our time and money and effort so that we can make money going forward. So what do we get? We get companies that disappear with everyone's money, losing the asset that you've created by building up your passive business. We get companies that destroy your relationships with friends and families that you introduce. How many times have you spoken to somebody and they say, well, this business looks good, but I can't introduce anybody because I've burned through my list. No, my friends aren't talking to, half of my family aren't talking to me anymore. Okay, and that's not your fault. That's as a direct result of these companies pulling the rug and disappearing. And those people that were in the business with you are disillusioned. They're upset. They're not upset with you, but you feel they are. And so these things happen that destroy our relationships, and we end up in despair, despondency, disillusionment, dejection, and sometimes it's hard to just pick yourself up and dust yourself off and start all over again. We can all do that once or twice, 3 times maybe, but at some point we're going to say, well, life's knocked me down too many times, I'm going to stay down here, I'll just get comfortable on the floor. Okay, and we don't have to do that, but that's what we end up with. And we, maybe not you and I, but a lot of people we know go through that process and they end up just despondent. Oh, well, that, online businesses don't work. Maybe it's not for me. What else do we want? We want financial freedom. And what do we get? Well, if we have got the mental fortitude to get back up, we end up with just another job, because our job then becomes trying to motivate and encourage others not to give up. And you don't really need that. You don't deserve that. You want to be able to build a business where people are self-motivating. And the reason they're self-motivating is because they're excited. They're getting results. They're seeing the benefits of their labor, or the results of their labor. And of course, it's easy for them to stay positive and upbeat if things are going well and they're making money. It's only when things don't go well, then you need to switch into boss mode, management mode, and nobody wants that. You know, we're all trying to get away from our jobs, not create another one. So we end up with that, and this is a thing that I figured is really the most painful, is that it's a constant resetting of the counters back to zero. So if you put all your eggs in one platform, and I'm not sure if that's the proper metaphor, it probably isn't. Okay, you put all your eggs in the basket of one platform, and that platform, and you build it, and you spend months building it and building up a team and so on, and then that business goes, your income goes to zero. And if you do decide to start something else, you start with zero income and zero people in your group. Okay, so there's a limit to how many times you can weather that, a constant resetting of the counters back to zero. What else we want? We want peace of mind. When they do surveys and studies about this type of business, peace of mind actually comes out on the top. You know, everybody says, "Oh, money! I want a yacht. I want I want to fly to Mars with Elon Musk or whatever." But when they're asked to rate them in order of what's most important to themselves, their life, their lifestyle that they want to achieve, and it becomes peace of mind comes out top, certainly in the top two for most people. Okay, because yes, it's great to have money, but wouldn't it be even nicer to have peace of mind about the fact that yes, you got money, but you're going to continue to have money in the future. Okay, you haven't got to worry about the future time and the future money. You've got that all taken care of. Okay, so that's what we want, is peace of mind. What do we end up with? Is a constant struggle to maintain a positive attitude. Constant worry about the money we've been cheated out of. You know, a lot of people look at failed opportunities and they can't get focused on a new opportunity because they're still looking over their shoulder at the opportunity that where they lost a lot of money, maybe. And that's understandable, but we don't want that. That's not what we wanted at all. We get constant guilt about the people we've let down. I feel that terribly, even though I spend a lot of my life helping people. A lot of the people that I help aren't even in my line of sponsorship. I get absolutely no financial reward for helping them. Yet, when things fail, I feel terrible that I've let them down. And the reality tells me that, or my reality check tells me that it, wasn't my fault. There was nothing I could have done about it. But even so, I still feel that. And I think most of us do. Despair that we keep starting again at the bottom. It's hard to keep starting at the bottom. And rationalization of our dreams and goals to fit our current income. I didn't want that yacht after all. I'll just have a rowing boat. That'll be good enough for me. So that's what we, there's a big discrepancy between what we want and what we get. And mostly it's absolutely not our fault. We want the ability to leave a legacy. There's somebody wrote a book a while ago, and I forget who it was, and the book was called The 4 L's. And it's a formula for a successful life. And they say that you should live, laugh, and leave a legacy. And if you do those 4 things, you'll have a happy and successful life. And there's something inherent about leaving a legacy that I don't know whether it's men particularly feel it. I think probably we all do. We all want to pass on to future generations the fruits of our own labor. Most people say, well, I don't want my kids, I started with nothing, but I don't want my kids to do that. I want to pay for them to go to college so they can have a better start in life than I did. Or if they want to start a business, I want them to have the money there to start a business. Okay. And it is important to me, and I suspect it is to most of us, to leave a legacy, to help future generations. If nothing else, help the world be a better place than it was when you arrived. We want the ability to support in a significant way causes that we believe in. When I say in a significant way, wouldn't it be great if when people come around and rattle a tin in your face and say, could you give something for the homeless? Could you give something for starving children in Africa? Or whatever cause it is, instead of just putting $10 or £10 or €10 in, and I think, that's a lot more than most people would. I'm doing really well. Wouldn't it be nice just to say, just to put a check in there for $100,000? Wouldn't it be nice to have to be able to go to their offices and see them and set up something where you're constantly giving money throughout the year to all these causes that you believe in, that you feel are significant to you. Okay, because when you get to the point where you've got enough houses to live in, you've got enough cars to drive. Basically, you can only drive one car at a time. So you've got enough cars. You spend most of your time doing exactly what you want to do with the people you want to do it. You experience most of the wonders of the world, and you've still got a huge amount of money left over. What are you going to do with it? It would be great to be able to donate to causes that are important to you in a very significant way. But what do we get instead? We get despair every time the rug gets pulled, just when we felt we were getting somewhere. We're just building some momentum, and then it goes. Even more guilt that we're letting down the people that we so desperately want to help. And believe it or not, there is a significant amount of mental pressure leading to poor mental and physical health. That's a reality in this space. So many people get depressed. Some people even get suicidal because they build themselves up and then it's gone, and they build it up and it's gone. And it's like I say, it's just hard to keep doing that without having the answer. And this sounds very, very desperate, doesn't it? It sounds very gloomy. But the good news is that we figured out why. Rather than just putting our heads in the sand and doing that over and over and over again. I've analysed this, and I understand what the difference between what we want and what we get, and how to tip the scales more in our favour. How to actually build something that's going to continue, that's going to last, that's going to give us the things that we want. So why does this happen? Well, there's a number of reasons. And you may or may not believe in conspiracy theories, but there are forces at work that are conspiring against you. Okay, conspiring against you and I, making a lot of money from online businesses. I read something in the week just gone that the US government are actively set up to prevent their citizens making money from anything other than a business where they report everything through the IRS, or a job. If you've got a business that reports properly, or a job, they're quite happy with that. If you want to do anything else, then they will come against you with all sorts of laws, regulations. They're taking on 68,000 more IRS inspectors, and the UK is doing something similar on a smaller scale. But these forces don't want you and I making a lot of money from online businesses. And I think the reason is that the governments of the world are just the plaything of the wealthy elite. And the wealthy elite don't want you and I making money from online businesses, because all the money that they have comes from you and I in the first place. The whole system is set up so that 2% of absolutely everything, every transaction on the planet, 2% of that monetary value goes to the wealthy elite eventually. Okay, so they don't want anybody else interfering with that. And these forces ensure scam businesses are successful at taking as much money as possible from ordinary people. Okay, and I can prove that to you, because how many businesses do you know that have been a scam, and the government steps in and shuts that business down and seizes their millions or billions of pounds that they've taken from you and I? And how much of it do we get back? The answer is none. I've never known anybody get a penny back from a business being shut down, even though that's what these supposed government watchdogs are there for, or supposedly there for. So they seize all that money, and you and I, the people that have been scammed, never see a penny of it. Okay, so if they were really interested in protecting you and I, then we would get our money back. These forces also ensure that the legitimate businesses, and there are a lot of legitimate businesses in this space, they're not all scam businesses at all, but these legitimate businesses suffer cyber attacks. They get problems with their real world applications, like massive market manipulation or new regulations or whatever, and they get problems with government regulators. And again, we've seen that people have to shut down to change their payment processor over to meet the requirements of the government, and then they never open their doors again. They also poison the well across the whole industry as a deterrent. When you Google a platform or one of these online businesses, you don't know how much of that information to believe, because it's, as soon as there's a new business, there's all sorts of rubbish written about it. There's scam busters, and there's behind MLMs, and there's all this other stuff. And you know, pretty soon you don't know who to trust. You don't know what's real news or what's real information and what's propaganda. Okay, so it's really, that's really where the war is won or lost, is in the information. The good news is it's not your fault that you've been unsuccessful up till now. The bad news is these forces are very powerful indeed. You can see them destroying banks, industries, whole countries. There's another bank in America in the next few days. A huge bank in America is going to go bust. Okay, according to articles I read yesterday. Okay, you've already seen several banks go bust in the last 3, 4, 5 months. Okay, you see whole industries go under, whole countries in the real world. Just, you know, people decide that they want the oil, or they want the minerals, or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden we're having a war to preserve democracy somewhere, even though there is no democracy in that country. So we see, you know, these forces are very powerful. They direct whole governments to do what they want. In the online world, you see that even the largest players in the space are not beyond their reach. Binance, Coinbase, just to mention the two largest exchanges in the world, they've been dragged over the coals in the last 12 months. They've had to jump through hoops. Okay, what that means, when they've jumped through their hoops, yes, they're back up and running, but what it means is, if you have money with any of those businesses and your government decides that you shouldn't have that money, they'll just tell Binance, close that account and give us the money, please. And Binance won't argue, because they've changed their processes and procedures and their terms and conditions so that they must now comply with what the government tells them to do. Okay, so yes, they're still up and running, but don't trust any of them. Only trust your own decentralized, sorry, your own non-custodial wallet. Don't trust anybody else with your crypto. Now, the problem won't fix itself. You can't fix the problem with the same mindset that allowed the problem to affect you previously. You need to plan things better and then execute your plan. So if we just keep going out there and joining new platforms and keep doing the same thing and hope for a different result, well, we're going to be very, very disappointed. And that's why I've spent so much time looking at the problem, looking at the solution, or what ideal solution we want, and how can we get from A to B. And so that's what Wealth Warriors is all about. We're going to figure out how to get from A to B. We're using the same tools as everybody else. We're using them in a different way. We need a plan that has a wide base of operations. If we have a vertical pile of bricks, it's easier to topple. However, a wide base made of bricks is not very high, it's much more stable. The bricks are platforms that meet our very exacting criteria. And if you want to build a castle to survive the ages, you don't use chalk or limestone, you use granite or basalt. You use something hard, something durable. We need a plan that has mortar between the bricks as well. So it's not just about having the bricks. We need the mortar, we need the glue that holds it all together. And the Wealth Warriors community is that mortar. And this won't work if we select the wrong platforms. And it won't work for you if you don't commit to the community. And I will labour this point in a little bit, because it is important for you to commit to the community. That doesn't mean you're limited to only what the community does, but if you're going to be part of the community, you need to do everything the community suggests that you do. Wealth Warriors is the system that makes the whole thing work. So we're not a platform, we're not a company ourselves. There's no financial relationship between us. It's just we are the system. And your commitment to Wealth Warriors is the following. One is to maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. So we've selected platforms where everybody can sign into all of the platforms for free, so that you can maintain all lines of sponsorship. So as soon as you introduce a brand new person, you should get them to sign up in all 4 platforms underneath you. They introduce somebody, that person signs up on all 4 platforms underneath them. Okay, so we sign up in we maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. Number 2 is we sign up in all the platforms that we adopt. Now, you haven't got to do this, but if you don't, then you can't really say you're part of the community, because that's what your commitment to the community is, to sign up in all the platforms that we adopt. Get your personally introduced people to do the same. Support your own people by learning about all of the platforms that we adopt, and support and encourage all other wealth warriors. Okay, we're all in this together. We're in the same boat. So why would you do that? What would be the benefit? Well, there's 6 main benefits. The first one is that your growing finances will never reset to 0 just because the platform fails. Excuse me. And that might not sound like much, but if you think about it, it actually changes your mindset. When you're working just with one platform, the way you do things, the money you put in, the way you take it out, the 50-50 withdrawal and so on, is all done looking over your shoulder. You're constantly expecting that platform to disappear. But what we're doing is we're looking for the long-term approach. So you have time. You can expect to be building these businesses for years, literally for years, 5, 10, 15 years. Okay, we might not have the same platforms that we started out with in 15 years' time, but all of the work you do now to build your first platform and to introduce your first few people, that will pay you rewards for 10, 15, 20 years. So you have time to develop a long-term approach to building the product side, the passive side of your business. Benefit 2, you can introduce your friends and family to a system knowing that they will make money from the system, and you will never have to feel guilt at letting people down and losing them money. And again, that's an important thing. Benefit 3, start every new platform with an existing community so that you never start a new platform from 0. Build on your team building success over a long period of time. I find this very, very refreshing, because part of the way I build a business is that I'll put a number of people on my front line, and then I'll start introducing new people and putting them below those people. Okay, and I probably in the last 2 businesses that I built, I put more people further down in the group than I had on my own front line. That's just the way I do it. I've got no problem at all talking to people, finding out what they're interested in, getting them involved in the business. I can do that all day long, standing on my head if I have to. Okay, but then what I find is that when that business is gone, all of that effort that I've put in to help all of those people, that's gone as well. And not only that, when if the person I introduce then goes and starts a new platform, they take some of my prospects with them because I gave them to them. Okay, so doing this, you never have to do that. The effort that you put in to build your business now, whether it's putting people on your front line or putting people further down in the group, you'll be rewarded for that for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Okay, because you build on your team building success over a long period of time. So the 4th benefit, we only get involved with good, solid platforms that have longevity, profitability, and reliability. We have that's as a result of a platform meeting all of our criteria. Okay, now, as I'm sure you're aware, there is a limit to how much due diligence you can do. For example, if we're dealing with a company that I don't know, they're an investment company and they've got several $1 billion under management, and then you've got me go to them as I want to meet the CEO, then that's probably not going to happen. If it does happen, it won't happen for a few weeks or a few months. So you can't actually do all your due diligence before doing something. So very often what we do is we do the most due diligence we can and then assess the risks from that point forward. And then over a period of time, we try to close down that risk and make sure we know that we're on solid ground. But we're also using strategies that mean that we can, we can make sure that our risk is minimized. And that's one of the things we aim to do as well, is we start all of these platforms with the minimum amount that you can get involved with. And as we build, and then we build on it, so we get a large income eventually, but we only started very small. Benefit 5, we can learn strategies and techniques designed to multiply your income above and beyond what's provided by the platform. And again, most of you know that I do this. I spend time trying to figure out the best strategy, because it's not always the most obvious strategy. So spend time to figure out what the best strategy is so that you can have more security, you can make more income. One of the things I like to do is to figure out how we can compound. Even if the platform itself doesn't allow it, if we can set something up where we can compound, that gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling, because with compounding, your income can grow very, very quickly. Certainly over the space of a couple of years, your income can grow very dramatically, even from a very modest start and a modest return. If you're compounding, it can grow. So we learn to be the mortar between the bricks that keeps your business strong and profitable for a very long time to come. Benefit 6 is have access to a training system that will help you duplicate your time and effort, which will multiply your income and financial security and decrease your workload. And this presentation here that I'm doing now is part of that training system. Okay, so and I like the expression there, it will multiply your income. It won't just increase it, it will multiply it 2, 3, 4, 10-fold. Okay. Keep losing my mouse. So we're kind of piecing together what we want to do. And one of the next things we need to talk about is adopting a platform, because we want to do something to make that money, to produce that income, to have that peace of mind. So we've got a few criteria. One is it must be available in the whole world, and i.e. not excluded in the US. And I only say that because of every 5 platforms I look at, 2 of them are excluded in the US. It must have a uni-level compensation plan. Okay, that's very important. We've had a number of, we almost adopted several plans, and in fact, on previous presentations, you might have noticed that I did talk about some of the platforms we were trying to adopt. But most of them fell out of bed simply because it wasn't a uni-level compensation plan. It was a forced matrix, or it was a binary. People must be able to join for free or get involved in a passive income program for a very low entry cost, i.e. $100. Because what we want everybody to do, so the combination of 1, 2, and 3 means we can maintain the lines of sponsorship across all platforms. So if we don't stick to 1, 2, and 3, then we may end up putting some people into our business that can't sign up because they're in the United States, or they don't end up in our business because we put them into a forced matrix, and so they're not personal to you anymore. They've been moved further down your group, or they can't join for free and they can't afford to join, so therefore they don't sign up. Okay, so if we have 1, 2, and 3, we can maintain the lines of sponsorship across all platforms. And I think that's very, very important to do that. And again, this is something that when you think about it, if you just spend a few minutes meditating on it, you'll realize the power of what we're talking about here. Having the same lines of sponsorship across all platforms is it's not just a whim, it's something we must make happen. If we want to get the benefits of being part of this community, we must make that happen. Because imagine that you built your business and you've got, I don't know, 1,000 people. Might have taken you a few weeks or a few months to put 1,000 people in. Okay, and then one of those platforms fails and we go out and find another platform to replace it. And on day 1, you start signing up in the new platform, and on day 2, your personals do, and the next day their personals do, and so on. Within 10 days or so, the whole 1,000 people that are in your community, your part of the community, you've got 1,000 people in that brand new opportunity. Okay, so therefore you're probably from day 1, or certainly from day 10, you'll be I don't know, double red diamond or whatever the level is, and you'll be making several $1,000s a month. So the effort that you put in building the first platforms doesn't get wasted. You just take those people and slot them into the new platform, and it all works nice and smoothly, and you help them do the same. Okay, so that's very important, I think, the lines of sponsorship. The second major part is that it must be based on real world applications, not just a money game or a shell game. I look at so many businesses where people say, oh, this is brilliant. And all I can see is that we're giving the company some money and they're giving us more money back. And I'm thinking, what are they doing to earn, to create that increase? What are they doing with our money that's going to make enough money they can give us back 2% a day or whatever it is? And if I can't see it, if I can't see the real world application, then it doesn't go on the list. It's simple as that. Because eventually all of those things will fail. They'll all go pop. And the other thing is, of course, we don't need to get into every single platform. There might be 100 decent platforms out there. We don't need to be in 100 of them. We just need to be in 4 or 5, maybe 6. That's it. We don't, as long as we're making money and we get that security, then we can build. So we must be able to verify the company's legal status and its involvement in their real world activities. It's all very well saying, yes, we're trading cryptocurrency. Well, let's see it then. Let's see the results. Let's see the people doing the trading. Let's watch over their shoulder. Okay. If they're trading Forex, let's see their MyFX book. Okay, let's see what they're actually doing. If they're building houses or building robots or something, let's see the robots. Okay. If possible, we must be able to meet the CEO or business owner, and having met him, we must have gotten all of our questions answered. Sometimes you talk to the CEO and afterwards you think, I know I asked all the questions, but I didn't get that many answers. Okay, so just need to get our questions answered. The compensation plan must be viable and sustainable. And you can run a calculator or run a spreadsheet through some of these compensation plans, and all of a sudden you say, well, that doesn't add up. They're paying out 110% of what they're getting in. It just doesn't work. You can't pay out 50% in commissions and still invest 100% of the money in the markets. You just can't do that. And the membership of Wealth Warriors must all be able to get behind the project. Okay, and some people love gambling. Some people love money lending. I don't know anybody who loves the idea of funding arms dealers, but okay, so they're just a few examples. But we've all got to be able to get behind the project in the sense of it doesn't offend our sensibilities, it doesn't go against our morals and our convictions and our beliefs. Okay, so we apply those 8 criteria to each platform, and then as long as they meet those, then we start looking into the into the smaller parts and just making sure we get all our questions answered. Like I say, some of that you can't actually achieve until I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago. I said, I'm going to have to sign up for this opportunity because I can't find out the information I need until I actually get the other side of the login screen. And I did that, and then I had all the information I needed to carry out the analysis. So it's planned for us to hold regular Zoom meetings to promote the community. I was hoping that we would be doing this several times a week. Haven't got it organised just yet, but that will be the plan, is to do these meetings like this now several times a week, and do a similar one in about, what time is it now? So in about 5 hours time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're not doing that today, but I want to put together that program so that we have regular Zoom meetings. You can attend Zoom meetings several times a week if you want to, and bring people with you. So sometimes you think, oh no, not another Zoom meeting. That's absolutely fine. But sometimes you just want to be, you want to go there, you want to learn some new things, keep on top of what's happening, just a little bit of positive input from like-minded people, that sort of thing. So we want to make sure those those meetings are available for you, and also the people that you want to introduce. In these presentations, we'll give a very brief overview of each platform. So we're not going to go through each platform with a fine-tooth comb, but I'm probably going to do something a little bit different tonight. So we just give a little brief overview, and then we will we'll also promote the platform-specific Zoom calls provided by the company behind each platform. So each platform that we're dealing with has its own Zoom calls that are done by the company. So, you know, we don't need to duplicate those. They're being done by the company. That's good enough for me. We also have a Telegram group called Wealth Warriors. The main means of communication is in the Wealth Warriors open forum. So when you go into the Wealth Warriors Telegram group, you'll see there's a list of topics. One of the topics is Wealth Warriors open forum. And in the open forum, you can ask questions about the community. Don't ask questions about the different platforms, because they have their own help desks and support desks and so on. So you go there to ask those questions. The group separated into a number of topics, one for each platform. We discourage people to be able to chat in the platform-specific topics, but we post useful information there, information about Zoom calls, you know, changes like if the website's down for maintenance. So we post that there, so you can find up-to-date information. But it's not a place for going to chat. The closest thing we've got to a chat room is the open forum, but even that isn't what I would call a chat room. You know, if you want a chat room where you say good morning to everybody every day, then you know, you can start your own chat room by all means. But that's not really what the chat room is for in the Wealth Warriors. It's for, imagine the or just have this as your guiding principle, if you like. What goes in the open forum should be useful to a brand new person, so that when they go back and read all the messages, they can see that people have asked questions, had those questions answered, and so it's useful information for them. Okay, so that's kind of the watchword. So we'll promote the Zoom calls run by the companies. All members must sign up on all platforms, even if they're not going to be active in them immediately. There are several of our platforms you can sign up for free, and even if you don't activate them there and then, if the people below you, if the people get in below you in those platforms, and they do something, then you can earn commissions, even though you've not actually put any funds into that account. We advise to enter one or two platforms at the minimum level, or to fund. So you actually join all the platforms, and then you fund one or two at the minimum level and build from there. And I recommend everybody just gets involved at the minimum level. For some of the platforms, it's $100. For some of them, it's $200. For one of them, it's $250. But if you fund all of the platforms, it works out at something like $650, $700, somewhere around there. Okay, so not a massive amount of money, but and that's also spread across 4 different platforms. In the open forum, we'll provide a weekly schedule. No, we won't. I still haven't taken that out. So you have the ability to add new people to the group. They don't need an admin to add them. You can add them. Once they've been added, they can add their own people and so on. We do not use invitation links. So please don't create invitation links and give them out, because spammers get hold of them, and then all of a sudden we will swamp with useless information from spammers. If you do invite spammers into the group, you may be removed from the group if we have to remove them. Sometimes I can't tell the difference. In a chat room I was running a little while ago, we had several people get into the group and spam everybody. So I removed them, and then I looked at who would introduce them, and they were spamming people as well. So I removed them and so on. And in the end, I just removed everybody that I could find associated with those spammers, because it's easier to reinstate people afterwards than leave a spammer in the group. Because the reason I don't like spammers is because you imagine you spend a year building up a group of 1,000 people, Okay, and it's taken you time and effort and energy, late nights and all sorts of things to build that group, develop them, get them working well. Okay, and then somebody else gets into the group and starts enticing them away with promises of, you know, utopia and a city and pavements made of gold. Okay, you know that there's no pavements made of gold, but your new people all go running off to something new, and that's not fair. I want to protect you from that, and you want to protect your people from that as well. You must use your real name and Telegram username. If you haven't got a username, then we won't be adding you to the group. And when you're introducing people yourself, make sure they have a Telegram username. If you don't know what it means to have a Telegram username, Google it. Okay, and Mr. Google knows everything about how to set up your Telegram username. Negative or disparaging comments will be removed. Consistently negative or disparaging comments may cause you to be removed. Spamming will get you removed from the group immediately with no warning. This includes enticing people through private messages. Promotion of other opportunities will not be tolerated and may result in your immediate removal from the group for exactly the reason I said just now. You spend time building your group and somebody else just steps in and starts posting messages about all sorts of other things, and you lose your group, and we don't want that. If you want to bring an opportunity to the attention of the leaders, send a private message to any of the admins in the Telegram group or to me. In fact, the best thing is bring it straight to me. So here are the platforms we've adopted so far. Property Robots is about crowdfunding the manufacture of pre-sold house printing robots. So it's a machine that will print a house in 48 to 72 hours. We've already pre-sold, let me think, 1,700 of them, which is about $450 million worth of robots that have already been sold. Okay, so we can give them money then to start putting these, buying in the parts for these robots and assembling them and package them up and send them off to where they need to be, and we make a share of the profit on that. Equinox Trust Limited invest in Forex and cryptocurrency trading. Aficoman Finances is an investment in all financial instruments, including cryptocurrencies. And Tower Stake is the one I'm just looking at now. I haven't said anything about it until now, but you can stake up to 16 coins spread across 4 plans, and they all give great returns. So let's get through some of this information as quickly as we can. Property Robots is investment to crowdfund the manufacture of the robots. Robots build a house shell in 48 to 72 hours. The company already has orders, so I should have changed that. It's not 300 million, it's 450 million. Construction companies won't just buy 1 or 2 of these robots, they'll buy them by 10, 20, 30 at a time at $250,000 each. The robot manufacturing is in Manchester in the UK, and we're just putting together somewhere in Dubai. As I say manufacturing, it's not really, it's just assembly. We earn our money from the profit. Profits return to your back office daily in USDT TRC20 and can be withdrawn as soon as it's in your back office. The way you compound with this program is to buy more plans with your profits. The compensation plan is unilevel. You can invest a specific amount, so you can't just invest $127. It's just those specific amounts, and it will double every 168 days. Direct commissions are differential bonuses between 8% and 40% on 14 levels. So again, I'm not going to go into that. We've got a great video in the back office about that. And these people do Zoom calls 5 days a week at 7 p.m. UK time. And again, that's all promoted in the back office in the Telegram. In the Telegram group. One-time rank achievement bonuses from $250 up to $4 million. They're only one-time rank achievement bonuses, but I think a one-time rank achievement bonus of $4 million, even if it takes you 3 or 4 years to get there, that would be pretty awesome. Career builder bonuses up to $300,000 per month, guaranteed for 6 months. So when you achieve these career builder bonuses, the smallest one is $250. The largest one is $300,000. Once you qualify for it, you then receive that money every month for 6 months. During that 6 months, you would then aim to re-qualify at that level or the next highest level up. So plenty of money in this program for us. Let's have a little listen to this.
The world is in a housing crisis. USA alone is short of 4 million houses. That is a $1.6 trillion untapped market. The traditional way of building is very slow, and the huge shortage of skilled labor makes the problem even worse. Amherst 3DCP. After more than 5 years and millions of dollars invested in research and development, R&D, we have developed the best 3DCP robots in the world. Our 3DCP robots can build a small house in 48 to 72 hours. The ultimate solution to the global housing shortage. Build more houses faster. With our 3DCP and other technologies, we can build up to 20 to 30 times faster. For example, a 250-meter square house skeleton structure can be built in 48 to 72 hours. This means we can build more affordable homes, build cheaper, less workers are needed on site, no forms for concrete, no steel. We use faster hardening cement. Construction companies can save up to 35% on costs. Full training is provided for 3 people when someone buys a 3DCP robot from Camhurst 3DCP Limited. Greener and more eco-friendly. We do not use steel, iron, or Portland cement during construction, and using geopolymer cement, we can produce houses that are up to 90% more eco-friendly. Because we do not use steel-supported walls or any other forms, upon completion of the project, we have very little waste. Build more houses, make more profit, and solve the housing shortage in your city. Amherst 3DCP. For more information, contact the person who shared this video with you.
Okay. There we go. I knew I'd figure it out. Okay. So, platform 2, Equinox Trust. Investments are available in gold, oil, Bitcoin mining, cannabis, and a few other things as well. So the real world application is investment in those areas. What we're going to focus though on is the Forex trading. Sorry, no, it's not. It's the cryptocurrency trading. But they also do Forex trading via PAM and MAM, which means it's suitable for everyone. If you don't know, PAM is sort of a pool account that's covered by a contract that's acceptable in the US. It's cryptocurrency trading. So there's also a way to offer up your crypto earnings directly to your own block card, MasterCard. So Equinox Trust will give you a MasterCard and you just transfer your earnings from your cryptocurrency trading onto your MasterCard and take it away and spend it. So it's a great way to offer up your crypto. Capital investment advice is available once you're registered. So what I'm suggesting is we only get involved in one small area of what they do, which is cryptocurrency trading. But if you're also then interested in looking at oil and gold and cannabis and everything else, they will provide professional advisors to come and talk to you about that. All included in the price. Fully regulated and invested funds are protected by insurance, and retirement and pension fund investment packages are also available. Like I say, we're not really going to be getting into those, but that all becomes available to you once you're in Equinox Trust. So there are 4 cryptocurrency investment plans. This is what I'm excited about. This is what we're talking about for purposes of Wealth Warriors. So the starter plan, you invest between $100 and $9,000 and you get 1.75% every day. The plan duration is 24 hours. Okay, and if somebody joins below you and takes out one of these starter plans, you will receive a 7% referral bonus. So every 24 hours, you get 1.75%. Now you've got to be a little bit careful with this because it literally is 24 hours to the dot or on the dot. So if you were to invest at 9 o'clock one morning, then your investment ends 9 o'clock the next morning. If you then don't reactivate that until 10 o'clock, you've wasted an hour of the day. And so slowly over a period of time, that time drifts out, and pretty soon you could lose a day a month, or even 2 days a month if you're not on the ball. So just a little thing from my experience. The advanced plan, you invest more than $9,000 up to $16,000, and you get 2.5%. And you get 2.5% every day for 5 days. And again, if somebody joins below you, they take out an advanced plan, then you'll get a 7% commission. You can see in the little box at the bottom there, it says that if you're at the top end of the bracket, so the bottom end of the bracket, then you earn on your $9,000, you'll earn $1,125 in 5 days. And if you're at the top end of the bracket, then you'll earn $2,000 in the 5 days. And as soon as that 5 days ends, you can start another one, start it again. Okay, the third plan. Okay, the third plan is the gold plan. And if you want to use the gold plan, then you invest between 16,000 and 30,000. You get 4% per day. And then you keep your money for 8 days. And again, you get a 7% referral commission, referral bonus. So again, at the bottom, if you get in at $16,000 of 4%, that gives you $5,000 over an 8-day period. And if you start with $30,000, that gives you $9,600 over an 8-day period. Okay, now I'm not suggesting, please don't mistake this. I'm not suggesting that we go out there and find people that want to invest $16,000. But what I am saying is that if we start with a few $100s and build it up through the starter plan, and then when we hit the top level of that, we go into the advanced plan, and then when we hit the top level of that, then we go into this plan. So this is how you compound, and this is how you accelerate your income. And I'll show you a spreadsheet in a minute about that. And then the last plan is the premium plan, and you invest $30,000 or more. And they change this now. You don't get a daily return, you get a monthly return of 35%. And the plan lasts for a whole month. And if somebody joins below you and takes out one of these plans, then you earn 10% commission. Okay, so what that means is you would earn at least $3,000 because their minimum level is $30,000. And again, I'm not suggesting we find people to do that. I'm saying as people build up to this, then or build their funds up, then they will move into this premium plan eventually. So a 30,000 investment would give 10,500 return. 100,000 investment would give 35,000 return per month. Okay, so I'm going to just share another screen. And I've just prepared this spreadsheet for you. This is what happens in a starter plan. If you only start with $100, then after 1 day, you've got $101.75. And I've also added this column here because I actually received a $7 commission there, so I added that back in to my earnings. Okay, and you can see it helped to accelerate. So what that means is that after this long, how many days are those? I can now take out my $100 and Yeah, that was it without the commissions. With the commissions, it comes forward 4 days. And then we can keep going. And as you can see that it just started with $100. It does build up, it accelerates eventually. And then you get to the top of the plan of $9,000. So now what you would do is take some of that money and you would either, if you wanted to, you would take that $9,000 and go on to the advanced plan. Okay, so you've worked your way up with $100 to being able to get up into the advanced plan. In reality, you would probably not just invest $100, you would probably invest $100, then a while later you'd add another 100. You get a couple of $7 for commissions for introducing your friends. Okay, so this time frame would be reduced quite dramatically. You also might not want to withdraw your $100. I've withdrawn $100 here, and it still then builds up again to get to the top of the plan where we can't stay in this plan anymore. It also doesn't account for the fact that what I will probably do is after I've taken my $100 out, I'll then take out 50% of my my earnings every week or every month. Okay, so one for me, one for the pot, one for me, one for the pot, because what we want to do eventually is we want to feed the pot so that it grows, but we also want to have an income because we're not doing this for the fun of it. So that's the advanced plan. So that's the starter plan. The advanced plan, you start with 9,000 and you withdraw your 9,000 because it gets you to the top of the chart. But you withdraw your 9,000 then within a month. And then you continue to allow that to grow. And within another month, you've hit the top of the plan. You can't stay there any longer unless you're going to take some money out, to start to, if you're earning $365 a day, you might take 150 out and put the rest back in. So it continues to grow a little bit, but you've got $150 a day as an income, which is what, 4,500? I can't even think now. Yeah, you can tell I haven't prepared that bit, but you can have a nice little income at that level without breaking over into the new plan, or you can just bite the bullet and go for the gold plan. So with the gold plan, you start with 16,000, and of course you can start with more, but you can't start with less. And at 4% now, it takes 24 days to get to the point where you can withdraw your $16,000. Okay, and then continue to build, and within another 15 days, you've hit the top of the plan. And then if you go over to the premium plan, you start with 30,000. Within 3 days, you take your 30,000 back out, and then you just continue to build. And within a very short space of time, this is built to an absolutely massive amount of money, just silly money. Okay, so that's the aim, is to start with the advanced plan with a little amount of money, so that if something does go wrong, but it doesn't break the bank, but we build on it and we build on it, we take some income out along the way, we build on it, and then we work our way up through the advanced plan and the gold plan into the premium plan, and that's when we hit the big time. Okay, so let's go back to what I was sharing just now. So that's the 4 Equinox Trust plans. Okay, the third platform is called Afikoman Finances, and it's a private club made available to our community members. This isn't something you can go splash across the internet. It's a private club. People have to be invited by you. There's over 100 different investment plans. Again, there's a big professional company, deal with some of the big financial institutions in the world. If you look at their website, you'll see that they are, they've got some great backers, big banking institutions and so on. So you get all the benefits of being an institutional investor, but you're not. You can start with a very small amount of money. Crypto assets investments profit from arbitrage and trading. And they're heavily tied into the Polkadot ecosystem. Many different portfolios to invest in, and they invest in different hedge funds. But we're just going to focus again. So there's all that stuff that you could get involved with. And I suggest you do at some point when you're making enough money, go and talk to them about investing in their hedge funds or one of these other investment plans or a pension fund or whatever. Okay, but we're only going to focus on the crypto trading plans. There are 3 crypto trading plans. One of them is the equity plan, and the minimum to get into that is $200 up to $10,000, and you get 1.8% per day, and that plan lasts 5 days. Okay, so again, $200 in. $200 in gives you $18 back out. $10,000 in gives you $900 back out after 5 days. Then there's the professional plan, an investment of $10,000 to $50,000, you get 3.5%. And you might look at this and say, well, in this bracket, the previous one is, Equinox is better, and in this particular bracket, the FecoMan is better. And what I'm suggesting is we're going to do a bit of both. We're not going to just put all of our eggs in one basket just because it's a slightly better percentage. We're going to share our funds across all 4 platforms. Okay, so again, $10,000 in over 10 days gives us what, $1,750 back. $50,000 in over 5 days gives us $8,750 back. The platinum plan is $50 and upwards, which gives you a daily 6%. So for $50,000 over 15 days, you get $45,000 back out. So you almost double your money in 15 days. And $100,000 over 15 days gives you $90,000 back at 6% per day. Here's some information about from the annual report. Consistent delivery against our target return of 1.8 to 6% per annum. Okay, total return on opening NAV is 17.2. And then you can see the share values, the full year dividend per share, and so on, and the total return for the year, 404 million. So there's some substance behind this company. The 4th one is Tower Stake. We haven't made this decision yet, but I'm thinking that it's looking good. Stake your coins in 4 different plans, and in each plan you can stake 4 different coins. All the plans last the plans last either 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months. Profit is earned daily, and you can withdraw your profit daily, monthly, quarterly, or 6 monthly, depending which plan you're looking at. We'll go through that in a second. Earn between 20% per month and 60% per month. All funds returned are withdrawable at the end of the plan. And it's a great referral program. We're still waiting for the details of that. So the first plan is the Eiffel Tower. If you invest $250 to $1,000, you earn 20%. $1,000 to $5,000, you earn 25%. $5,000 plus, you earn 30%. And you can withdraw every single day. But you can't add staking funds. You can't take that daily profit and add it back in to make your investment larger. Okay, so you have to wait till the end of the month and then start a new plan with your original stake plus your profit. But you can take your daily withdrawals out of the system and go spend them, do whatever you want. The Empire State, 250 to 1,000, you were in 30%. 1,000 to 5,000, you were in 32%. 5,000 or more earns 35%. And it's monthly withdrawal, so you get your money back at the end of the month. But you can add staking funds at any time. So what we'd suggest, or what would make a good strategy, would be to have one plan with the Eiffel Tower, where you can get your profit out every single day. And you also have one plan with something like the Empire State, where you can take that daily profit and add it into this plan to earn extra money with it. You haven't got to do that, but that would be a good plan. Shanghai Tower, so you earn 35%, 37%, or 40%, and you withdraw at the end of the 3 months. But you can add staking funds at any time. And the Burj Khalifa plan, you get 40%, 50%, or 60%, and you withdraw at the end of the 6 months. Okay, but you can add staking funds at any time. So you can see that the more you invest and the longer you leave the money, the more returns you get. And I think 60% over a 6 month investment on 5,000 or more, I think that's pretty special. Okay, so what do you do now? You get the referral links for all the platforms from the person who invited you to this presentation. Register in all the opportunities and make a note of all your referral links. Pass these links on to your existing frontline members or to people that you invite to see this presentation. Make a minimum payment into all opportunities. If you can't do this, select the project that interests you the most and make a minimum payment to get that platform started. Okay, so that's, I suggest if you can, get into at least one in the next couple of days. If you can't, then, you know, get it all set up. The most important thing is to register in all of the platforms and pass your details on to the people you're introducing. Okay, worry about funding the plans at a later stage. Then ask your introducer to be added to the Wealth Warrior Telegram group, attend a Zoom call or watch the video for each platform you've added funds to your account. And when we adopt a new platform, make sure to get the referral link of your upline and join as quickly as possible, and then pass your referral link to your existing team. Get on a presentation for that new platform as soon as possible. So the basic idea of maintaining these lines of sponsorship, you've probably seen it where you build a group and then all of a sudden your upline sends a message to everybody in your group saying, I'm also doing this other platform over here. If you want to join up with me, here's my link. And all of a sudden, the people that you've been working with and nurturing and building up all go off to work with your upline. We want to really discourage that because we don't want a mad dash. When we introduce a new platform, we do it in a controlled, systematic way. There's no jump in the queue. There's no going to some, you know, jumping in with somebody's upline. It's just slowly, methodically, the line of sponsorship migrates into this new platform and it's all set up properly. Okay, so there's no rush. And the thing that destroys businesses like this is greed. And greed manifests itself in a couple of ways. One is where people just get in and get people in. They do what they have to do to get as much commissions as possible. Okay, so they just keep chucking people in, getting more and more commissions. Okay, so that can destroy the business because people aren't being looked after properly. They're just being, you know, put in because somebody wants to make some commission. The other way is where people think, I want to get ahead of everybody. I want to be the first one into this platform. I want to sign up before everybody else. Okay, don't do that. Just maintain your position within the lines of sponsorship. And what you'll get is the rewards of the work that you've done for years, okay, over and over and over again, which is far better than jumping in at the beginning, trying to get people in, starting from zero all the time. Okay, that's there's nothing to be gained from that. So a quick reminder, we're building a solid foundation on which we can base our financial future. This isn't just some sort of flash in the pan. It's something we've got to concentrate on, we've got to focus on, we've got to do the work if we want to have the rewards. We only want to work with companies that are in it for the long term. We only want to work with companies that are above board. We want to build a large asset, which in turn will deliver us a large income, whatever that asset is. Only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered. We want to apply our rules to this industry to achieve our outcomes, not be at the mercy of any one company. So we're taking charge of this situation now. Where we've relied on the companies to do it, they've let us down badly. We're going to be in charge, and so we're going to make sure we do what we need to do. So finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and in the world of online opportunities at all times. Do not share your password or other credentials with anyone. When you sign up to a platform, where it's available, set up your 2FA on your accounts. If you don't know what this is or how to do it, Google 2FA. Mr. Google knows how to do that and he'll teach you. Back up your passwords and your 2FA codes in a secure location and make sure the executors of your will or your beneficiaries have access to this information in the event of your death. Wouldn't it be a shame to spend 10 years building a small cryptocurrency fortune online, and when something happens to you, nobody else knows how to access your millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. So make sure that that information is kept safe. Develop a strategy for each of the platforms that you're involved with and stick to your strategy. That's the most important part. Stick to your strategy. Just because a company running a platform introduces a special offer does not mean that it will fit your strategy. Often, it's a sign that the company wants members to deposit a lot of money quickly. Often, it's a sign that they're going to, pump up the money in their bank account just before they run off with it. And I saw so many people in an opportunity recently when a company said, "Oh, if you give us $1,000 today, we'll give you $2,000 tomorrow," and people just sent in loads and loads of money. And of course, that's exactly what the company wanted, and then they went. So don't act on a special offer just because the company says it. Do not use or invest money that you cannot afford to lose, ever. Always think, if I put $100 here and it goes, will it break the bank? Will I have to file for bankruptcy, or will I have to, can I not afford to eat for the next month? Okay. And if that's the case, then don't use that £100. It's too much money. Okay, so only use or invest money that you can afford to lose. All programs have a shortest route to break even, so find out what it is for your chosen programs and withdraw your initial stake as soon as you reach that point. You saw on the spreadsheets just now that there was a point where I said, withdraw your money, withdraw your $100, withdraw your $200, whatever. Okay, so do that. Take your money back out. Then you've got no risk at all. The only money you could lose is money that you haven't really got yet. You might have earned it, but you haven't. It hasn't cost you any money. So that's the end of the presentation. Welcome to Wealth Warriors, Financial Freedom Fighters par excellence. So I'm going to switch off the share, come back to the room. I'm available for questions. If anybody's got any questions, I'll allow you all to unmute. So yeah, if anybody's got any questions, we've got a couple of minutes. I was planning for this to be an hour and a half, so we've got about 12 minutes left if anybody's got any questions. If not, we can just say good night and see you next time.
Andy, do we have any information as to how long these 4 companies have been operating?
Yes, we do. Yeah, it's all in the back, all in the back office of the Wealth Warriors group. So we get hold of things like videos, their PDF documents, their terms and conditions, anything that we can find about them, we post in there.
Okay.
The newest one is Property Robots. That's, they're really just getting off the ground now. But we spent a long time with the CEO. There's a great video that we did. We met him a little while ago. A team of us met him and asked all the questions that we could think of. And to be honest, we liked what he said. So they're kind of brand new, but the other 3 are they've been around a little while. The FICOMAN Finances and come on, I can't remember the name of it. I had it in my head a few seconds ago. Anyway, the middle 2 in the presentation, they've been around a long time. They've got great financial backers and this sort of thing. So you'll be quite impressed when you look into those. Good question though, Bindi. Thank you.
Okay.
Is this video available to us? And
Sorry.
can we use it for our prospects?
Sorry, say that again.
Is this video available to us?
It will be, yes. There's one in the back office already in the open forum. And this one will be posted in the open forum as well. It's available on YouTube as well.
Okay. And can we send it to our prospects?
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
I have a question, Andy.
Yeah, hi, Chat.
In the Property Robots, is there a URL for that company?
Yes, there's a number of URLs actually, and it's all posted in the Telegram group under Property Robots.
Okay.
So
you know,
you go to Wealth Warriors, and then there's a topic there called Property Robots.
okay. I cannot go in there until I call you, and then you get a hold of my name, and then you can get me in there.
Well, let's do it now.
Okay. My phone number is 310.
Let's see if I can do it just from your name. Yes, I can.
Did you get it?
Done.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You're more than welcome.
Now, in the introductory part, you're using it as a system. This as a system, and it's a very, very good, word to use, because this system stands for certain things like save yourself stress,
Time, effort,
Time.
and money.
exactly. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Thank you.
And I think we should put that in there in your intro. That's
I think
exactly what
I think we probably will. I'm glad I thought of it.
it does.
No, that's great. I like that. Thank you. And hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do as well is to come away from just being dependent on one platform, but to figure out how to do that, how to get many platforms working in tandem. Is tandem just two, or in parallel maybe? It's not easy, because some of these not criteria, but the rules, if you like, that I've laid down. People can do what they like. They can just get involved with us and get in one platform or two platforms, but that doesn't mean they're going to have the benefits of being part of the community. It's only if they go the whole hog and sign up in all of the platforms that we recommend, even if they then don't fund them. But if all the lines of sponsorship are maintained, then there's so many benefits to be had for you guys over the years. I'm very excited to have been able to figure this out, and I'm excited to be able to put it in place as well.
But one of the conditions you have in your beginning part of your process is the ability to put your fingers on a tangible asset, right?
Yes.
It's the tangible asset. Would you consider building a community a tangible asset or a non-fungible asset? Trade.
It's a good question. Traditionally, if you have a company that services customers, the value of that company is at least partially based on the number of customers they have.
Right.
So would the value of your online business be partly based on how many people you have in your part of the community? It's a good question. I'd not thought of it like that, Chet.
Please consider that, because this is something which I've spent some time on.
Okay.
And that's what I sent you. I sent you that one.
Okay. I don't know that I've yet got to the point where I think of a group of people I'm working with as an asset for me. It's not really, that's not how I think. It's not about what's for me.
I think there should be another qualifier in there, and that is self-minded people, people which have the same mindset.
Yes, yeah, like-minded.
And like-minded and committed to the same goal. Then you have a tangible asset.
Yes, but of course I'm not anybody's boss. I can barely boss myself.
I know. But
so I can't force people to be committed to the principles. What I can say is that they want the benefits of what the community promises, then they need to adopt all of the principles because if you're only, if you're halfway, and let's suppose you only adopt one platform, let's suppose you adopt all 4 platforms and you build it to the point where you're making $1,000 a month from each of those 4 platforms, and one of those platforms then fails. So we have to, spend a couple of weeks and replace that platform. You've still got 3 platforms producing $3,000 a month. And pretty soon when you sign into the 4th one, or the 5th one, the replacement one, you replace that $1,000 within a couple of weeks because you take your whole community with you into that new platform. So that would be the benefits for somebody being part of the committee, the community, and being committed to it. But if
Right.
somebody says, "Well, I only want to get involved in property robots, but I like the idea of being on these Zoom meetings and being part of the group," but they only adopt one platform, and that's the platform that goes bust. Well, there's no benefit at all to them having been part of the community. They've done what they want, absolutely, and I wouldn't be their boss, and I wouldn't try and tell them not to, but they don't get the benefits of being part of the community. And then we can all look at them and say, "We told you so," because that's what we do, isn't it?
Right.
No. Yeah, so it's kind of difficult. We can't tell people what to do in the sense of being their boss. We can tell them what they should do, being their advisor or their colleague. Anyway, good questions, chat. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
So anybody else, any last questions for the last minute or so? If not, what I'd like you to do, in fact, let's do that anyway. If you want to unmute yourselves and just say Happy New Year to all your fellow wealth warriors. And we'll do this again next Tuesday. And then next week, I might be able to do a more comprehensive set of meetings, maybe do 2 or 3 next week.
So are these going to be every Tuesday now, or whenever available, but on Tuesdays only?
Yeah, so there won't be another one this week, but there will be one on Tuesday next week, and then we might do another one on, say, Thursday, and maybe one at the weekend next week.
So it's going to be very.
Yeah, so, but by all means, give me feedback, whatever days work best for you. And people watching this on the video, whatever days work best for you, leave it in the comments below. And we'll get a program of Zoom calls. And if we need them every single day because we're growing that fast, then we do. So yeah, I need your feedback to tell me when you want the meetings.
Okay.
So yeah, by all means, unmute yourselves. Say Happy New Year to all of your colleagues.
Happy New Year, guys, and all the best for the future.
Thanks, Bindi. Much appreciated. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, Carolyn, Sue Ellen, Michael. God bless.
Happy New Year.
Pamela, still not going to sing to us. Janet, good to see you.
Happy New Year, guys.
And you, chat. God bless. Speak soon.
Take care.
Tuesdays apart from the
Yeah, Andy.
month. Emmanuel,
Hi,
hi. How
everyone.
you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent.
I'll message you. I'll message you immediately after the Zoom meeting.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any of
Thank
you
you.
are free to message me. Luciano, my friend. Buenos dias. Buenas noches.
Hey guys, Happy New Year. How you guys doing?
Cheers.
Incredible. Thank you.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Same to you guys. Happy New Year. Andy, are we staying on with you and Becky, or we're done for today?
If you want to stay on, yeah, and Becky's here.
I remember you were saying then we were going to stay afterward, just as the admin. I don't know if we're still doing this.
Okay, let's do that and then we'll figure it out.
Okay, no worries.
Excellent.
Thank you, Andy. Good night.
God bless, Janet. Good to see
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. So, yeah, if you could all disappear off now, I'll have a little chat with my friends Becky and Luciano. And I'll stop the recording.